Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Baseball Paradise Podcast, presented by the Duck Duck Bros. I'm your boy, Master Dami, and today, I know it's been a while since I posted a video, since I posted a podcast recording, wherever you're listening to this from, YouTube, SoundCloud. Um, Thank you for coming back. Thank you for tuning in. But today we are just I was supposed to do weekly recaps of the season every Monday, and things piled up. Kind of got behind on it, but we're back. We got it, and today we're just gonna recap the first 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks and a half, 2.5 weeks of the season. A lot of crazy things have happened. A lot of surprises, early surprises, through it's almost the end of April already. We're about halfway through April. Some standout players, some standout teams that we're kind of just like, wow, and honestly, I'm going to start off in the American League because I feel like the National League is kind of like what we predicted somewhat, and then the American League kind of just threw us off whack. So starting off the American League right now, I know it's April, 162 game season, so it's a long marathon, a long push, but I was not expecting some of these teams to be at the top of their divisions at this point, and to get off to these hot starts. More specifically, the Mariners. They're playing great baseball. I know their schedule was kind of it wasn't the toughest, but they're winning ball games. They're young. They're just getting the job done. It's amazing to see. It's fun to watch young teams do good. It's fun to see teams like the Mariners do good. Teams like I know that it's expected, but the White Sox are still relevantly young. It's fun to watch them play. It's fun to see a team like the Royals, who are in first place, who I said was a sleeper to make the wild card. Who knows what can happen in that division now. It's fun. The Red Sox are off to an amazing start. After getting swept the first series of the year, they went and win 9 games in a row or whatever it was, and just dominant. Just winning games. They're sitting in first place right now through the first 2 weeks, playing pretty solid baseball. So it's interesting to see. I know it's like I said, it's the first week, but there's also some teams who we expected to be a little bit better, and they're not performing. We all know who that team is. The Yankees. They're a team every year, favorite to win the division, favorite to make it to the World Series. It's always the last 2 or 3 years. It's kind of been like Dodgers and Yankees. Like as the favorites to win the World Series. It's always about a dead tie, like Vegas betting odds. So in years past, it's always Stanton starts off the year on the DL, or Judge and starts the year on the DL. Gary Sanchez, Luis Severino. There's always guys that start off on the injured list, but this year that's not the case. They're just not playing good. They're not winning games, and it's kind of surprising because you just expect the Yankees to be good, right? You expect their name to be up there with the Dodgers and the Padres and the Braves, and then now everyone's expecting the Mets to be good. So it's kind of weird to kind of see, like I said, like we're saying, it's April. We shouldn't panic. We shouldn't, hit the panic button yet. Still very, very early. Teams can completely just dip off. We're talking about this right now on April 19th. In August, the Yankees could be the best team in baseball. It's that early. So, but a little surprising, that they're kind of where they're at to start off. Expected them to get off hot. The A's were a team too. Start off 0-5, I think it was, or 0-6. And they're picking it up now. They're now 9-7, so they've gone on a little hot streak. The Angels are playing well, which is fantastic because you want the Angels to be in that push for October. You want to see Mike Trout playing meaningful baseball because it seems like not even counting 2020, because they played some meaningful baseball in September, trying to sneak into those 8 seeds. But like in years prior, before the Angels made the playoffs, so 2014 or 2015, whatever year it was, the Angels, like, by August, they're just kind of like, hey, like, they're out of it, it's just, all right, let's see if Mike Trout can go out and win another MVP, see if he can win the batting title this time around, that's kind of where we get after the trade deadline with the Angels. You don't really get to see Mike Trout I guess he still competes, but it's not it's kind of for nothing if you really think about it in terms of team success. So I hope the Angels keep it up, even as everyone, surprisingly, as a Dodgers fan, you want to see teams do good. You want to see the best player do good. I've said it in the previous podcast. You want to see the best players on the biggest stages. You want to see in every sport the best players. You don't want to see mediocre players winning the championship. As fun as it is, you want to see the best players competing. You want to see Mike Trout in the playoffs. You want to see LeBron in the playoffs. You want to see Patrick Mahomes every playoffs because they're the guys. You want to see them live up to their name, live up to the hype, and do big things in the playoffs. Like I said, Angels playing relatively well, AL Central's kind of bunched up right now. AL East, everything's going to be bunched up. But it seems like it's looking like a fun year. We'll see how it comes around. I think by early June, you see the teams that kind of drift away and the teams that are going to kind of stay in it, And then by July and August, it's really all right, these are the teams that are going to, basically by the trade deadline, these are the teams that are going for it, and these are the teams that, we'll see you next year. Thanks for playing. And then in the National League, the Mets are in first. Kind of expected it. They've been, like we said, this division is gonna get based off playing each other. All 5 teams are they're good enough to win this division. It's probably the best division in baseball. I hope that all 5 teams are in it in September because that'll be so much fun to keep up with in the last month of baseball. See who makes the playoffs. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I know the Mets and the Nats are a few games behind because of the COVID thing, but they're gonna make those games up, and it's gonna be nice and fun to see this season play out, especially in that division. So right now, that division is kind of looking how we think it's gonna look. It's gonna be tight. These teams they're gonna go at each other's throats the whole year, and it's gonna be fun to watch. Central, kind of surprised. The Cubs are off to a very bad start. Offensively, a lot of their guys are just struggling to hit the ball, and for me personally, I thought it was going to be the pitching that was going to be the problem, and the hitting was going to find a way to win games. But it kind of, I don't really know how their pitching has been doing, but the hitting part has just been terrible. Our boy Jock Peterson is not doing too well. He's batting $150, or if that, maybe less. I think their best hitter might be Chris Bryant, who's batting 260, and everybody else is kind of under that. I don't know. It's kind of surprising. Like I said, it's early. We'll see what teams are still here in May, June, And then The NL West, the Wild Wild West. We had the one of the most funnest series in April ever. Like this was. It felt like it was a playoff atmosphere. The Dodgers and the Padres. We did a podcast episode on it, on the the rivalry, in quotations, that is brewing in Southern California, and it was in full effect this past weekend. Let me tell you, that was fun to watch. The Dodgers take 2 out of 3, and like I said, this division is gonna be the winner of this division is gonna go head to head, because these teams are gonna beat up on the rest of the league, of the National League, and probably the American League. Like, these teams are they're arguably the best 2 teams in baseball. 1 and 2 in baseball. It's gonna be fun. They got another series coming up this weekend, 4-game series in LA. Can't wait to watch that. That's gonna be even a lot more fun. A lot of chippiness went on in that game. First game, Dennis Santana and Jorge Mateo kind of got into it after Mateo got hit by a pitch. Benches cleared, and then game 2, the check swing or full swing, the catcher's interference, Kershaw yelling at Profar telling him to shut up. Like, that's what we talked about, great rivalries, and that's what it's gonna be like. Intense games, close games, a lot of chip. It's gonna be a grind, a chippy, and it just felt like, it felt good winning those games, because it feels good winning all the time, right? But those specific games, I give a little bit more a good punch to the gut. So yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of the season play out between the Dodgers and Padres, but I mean, the Rockies and D-backs are already kind of falling behind, way behind. I mean, the Dodgers are 13-3, so they're off to a hot start. But the Giants are right there. They're tied for second with the Padres right now. I know the Padres just lost a tough series to the Dodgers, but the Giants are there. There's I don't know, maybe it's not an even year, but maybe they're changing the page, new decade. Maybe they're going for odd years this time around. Buster Posey's still there, Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, these guys are still there. I wouldn't be surprised if Hunter Pence and Pablo Sandoval found their way back onto the Giants roster somehow. It's just, but yeah, that's our, I guess, 2.5 weekly recap of the MLB season so far, man. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys want to hear? What do you want to see in the next couple videos? Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Peace.